I avoid stupid people like a ticking time bomb with no timer because you're not sure when they're going to go off. You can guarantee they're going to go off. You just don't know when.
Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans because what? Because they're special?
Decision to revoke temporary legal status from 53,000 immigrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela has left many in shock.
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We cover the stories that matter, stories that impact real lives, shape the political landscape, and define our future. And today we have an important one. We're diving deep into the consequences of political choices, how Cuban Americans overwhelmingly supported Trump, only to now find themselves in the crosshairs of his immigration policies. This is FAFO season, find out the hard way season, and for over 500,000 Cubans in the EU. That hard lesson is arriving in the form of deportation orders, shattered families, and broken promises. We're going to break down exactly how this happened, what it means for the Cuban community, and the broader lesson that applies to everyone. But before we do that, let's take a moment to acknowledge the hard work of the creators behind the visuals you're about to see. A huge shout out to y'all for providing the footage that brings this story to life. Their contributions help us tell these stories with the impact they deserve. Now, to give you a clearer picture of what's happening, let's check out this clip that highlights the rising tensions and protests among Cuban Americans who are now realizing the reality of Trump's policies.
I myself am Cuban. My whole family is immigrants, so you would think, hey, I'm pro-immigrant. He can offend Cubans tomorrow and I wouldn't care, as long as my life is better and my peers are enjoying their life as well.
What I would like to see is more jobs come up here, less war, a backbone for America, a better immigration policy. My father came here, got us all citizenships from overseas. He had 4 children. He brought us into all those things to give us a better future. Things are AWire. Let's see what we could get done in this go around with Trump.
I know tons of people that just came from Cuba 20 years ago, doctors, and they've done their American dream. They've done their due process.
I wanted to see Trump back in the White House. And I think people who come here legally, or people who are here and see what is going on with the immigration and how they're giving thousands and thousands of dollars for these people who are coming here, money that they could be spending on the problems that we have in our country.
I have always said that stupid people are the most dangerous people on this entire planet. I don't trust dumb people. I avoid stupid people like a ticking time bomb with no timer because you're not sure when they're going to go off. You can guarantee they're going to go off. You just don't know when. Let me be very clear about this. Stupid has nothing to do with diplomas or degrees or jobs. I have met morons with Ivy League paper plastered all over their walls in frames who couldn't navigate a moral choice if you drew it for them on a map. Stupid people walk around through life oblivious to the damage they cause. They're the ones who vote against their own interests. They think they're always right, and that's the problem. That right there is the real poison. Because when you're stupid and you do things like vote against your own self-interests, you become the puppet, pulled by fear, pulled by propaganda, by whatever authority pats you on the head and says, "You're doing a great job, vote for me." I would sooner sit next to a hateful, racist person than a stupid person. At least the racists know who they are. They're gonna spew venom for sure, but there's a twisted kind of honesty to them. You know where you stand with them. You know exactly where the landmines are. With stupid people who vote against their own interests, you never know. They'll smile at you, they'll call you their friend, and they'll gladly set the room on fire with you in it, thinking they're helping. Stupid people are chaos wrapped in flesh. They will never truly know the harm they cause until it's too late. And that right there is the real problem.
All right, guys, let's talk about all these deportation and the reason mass deportation targeting Cubans among that group. So as you know, in the recent decision to revoke temporary legal status from 53,000 immigrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela has left many in shock. And in the Cuban community, which has largely supported the current administration now find themselves directly affected. Many believe that they will be exempt from mass deportation given their past favorable treatment by the U.S. government. So I wanted to kind of tap in. I have friends that are Cuban and my heart feels for them. But the reality is that the majority of the Cubans, they took advantage of their preferential treatment and treated other immigrants unfairly. While the Cuban government calls these deportation plans unrealistic, the reality is that many Cubans are now facing the same struggle that other immigrants groups have endured. So this should be a wake-up call, not just for Cubans, but for everyone. So I'm not here to be hateful or anything like that, but it's just that this is a reminder to always educate yourselves, including, we should all educate ourselves, question political rhetoric, and think beyond self-interest. Instead of focusing only on our own communities, we should push for fairness and justice for all. And that this is a good example, which is also a bad thing that is happening, but it's showing us that that doesn't lead to anything good. I'm not here to condemn the Cuban community, but rather to reflect. I hope that they receive the support that they need from the same leaders who once reassured them. Let this be a lesson in unity, compassion, and the importance of standing together, because what affects one group today can impact another tomorrow.
The choice that backfired in 2024, a majority of Cuban Americans, especially in Florida, threw their support behind Donald Trump. They cheered his strongman rhetoric, his anti-communist messaging, and his promises to keep America great. Trump positioned himself as the savior against the so-called socialist takeover of America, and Cuban MAGA voters ate it up. They ignored the warnings about his immigration policies. They ignored the deportation numbers from his first term. They ignored the fact that Trump's America First agenda didn't include them. And now, they're finding out just how brutal that reality is. FAFO. The crackdown begins since returning to office in 2025. Trump has wasted no time implementing his harshest immigration policies yet. One of the biggest targets? The Cuban community. Over 500,000 Cuban immigrants, many of whom thought they were safe, are now facing deportation. Trump's administration has increased deportations by strengthening agreements with Cuba to accept more returnees, ended special protections that once helped Cuban immigrants gain residency, restricted asylum claims, making it nearly impossible for Cubans to stay legally, cut financial aid programs, leaving many struggling to survive. The very man they thought would protect them has turned on them. And the worst part? It was all predictable. Why did they support Trump? So, why did so many Cuban Americans vote for Trump despite his clear anti-immigration stance? Fear of socialism. Many older Cuban exiles equated the Democratic Party with Fidel Castro's Cuba, fearing any left-leaning policies as a step toward communism. Economic interests. Some believe Trump's tax cuts and business-friendly policies would benefit them more than immigration protections. Right-wing media influence. Conservative Spanish-language media in Florida pushed heavy misinformation, making Trump seem like the only choice. But what they didn't realize was that Trump's immigration crackdown doesn't make exceptions. Nationalism doesn't care where you're from once you're labeled an outsider. The betrayal and the aftermath. Now, Cuban MAGA voters are experiencing firsthand what it means to make the wrong political choices. Families are being torn apart. Communities that once cheered for Trump are now protesting in the streets, begging for mercy. But the truth is harsh. There's no mercy in a system designed to remove them. This should serve as a lesson, not just for Cuban Americans, but for all immigrant communities. Voting against your own interests has consequences. Supporting policies that harm others can eventually come back to harm you. Before we wrap up, here's another clip showcasing some of the real stories of families now facing deportation. Watch closely. This is reality, and it's happening right now.
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they're special? most immigrants don't much of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this. The guy told you straight up what he was going to do. And you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take. And you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt. And you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people that he promised to pardon you if you had, like, some guys, or say, like, if you had a college degree, then, or you were going to school. What do they think? That the rest of us don't have education? It's not like Cubans are the exception to everybody else. That's what happens when you feel you're special like this for no valid reason whatsoever. Then when reality sets in, it feels like a brick right across your face. So you're in the find out phase because you guys voted for this and you guys supported this. You guys supported a guy who put the embargo back on your island. And now the people that you have down there are suffering. Now you can't go visit him anymore. And on top of that, you're getting deported over there. So you voted for the guy who set up the embargo to send you back again to that embargo that you escaped from. So don't come crying. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
So this message is for the Latinos who voted for Trump, more specifically the Cubanos. See, I told you. Now your asses are going to be sent back to your fucking country. You're going to lose all your businesses, livelihoods, all your friends. All because you thought you were fucking light-skinned enough to go ahead and get a free fucking pass. How does it feel now, huh? To have somebody tell you that you don't fucking belong here. For someone to tell you that even though you got signed work to be here, that they're going to go ahead and revoke it. Crazy, right? And now this is the consequences of your fucking actions because you wanted to be a fucking pick-me. And when you're back in Cuba and you're sitting there wondering what the fuck happened or how things went wrong, remember, you did this. This is your fault. This is your problem that you need to deal with now.
Dear Cubans, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked of the Venezuelans. But here's the thing. See, you thought your racism was going to save you from those consequences. And they didn't. Well, the only thing I can say is, have a nice trip, bye!
Latinos for Trump. Specifically, Miami Cubans for Trump. Bring your ass, you bitches on my docket today. Y'all are the definition of political pick-me's. You're so eager, like ready, willing, and fucking able to go from one dictator to the fucking next. Now, I know y'all not systematically accustomed to freedom, but trust me, it's a good thing. Now, when it comes to you white presenting Cubans, I can understand, whether it be you naturally look that way or, you got the work done. I can understand your delusion in terms of, having proximity to whiteness and thinking that you're going to get a seat at the table. And while you may get a seat, it is with the express understanding that the moment you act familiar, them envelopians gonna put you in your place quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry by letting you know that you're simply a guest. But again, you look the part, so I can understand. But it's you Celia Cruz looking motherfuckers that blow me. Have you niggas looked in a fucking mirror? Like, let's keep it a fucking Goya bean in this bitch. The closest you're getting to a seat at the table is looking at that motherfucker through the window while you cutting the grass. Like, it is what the fuck it is. But since y'all think y'all got it like that, let's try a little experiment. When ICE roll up to collect you niggas, Elian Gonzalez style, I want you to look them square in the face. And I want you to say these 5 words to them. I know black eye Cuban. And let me know how the fuck it goes. Send me a postcard with Fidel on the fucking front. And when they send you back home, I hope you can't take shit with you but your fucking MAGA merch. As a permanent reminder that the president you voted for is the same president that sent you fucking packing. For decades, we've been trying to give y'all a wake-up call. I bet now you niggas wish you would have picked up the phone.
So what's next? Will Cuban Americans finally break away from MAGA politics? Or will they continue to fall for the same lies? Let's discuss in the comments. What do you think about the situation? Do you think this will shift political loyalty, or is it too late? We want to hear from you, so drop your thoughts below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps spread awareness about these critical issues. A huge thank you once again to the creators who provided the incredible footage that made this video possible. If you'd like to see more of their work, check out the links in the description below. But before you go, take a moment to reflect on this. Politics isn't just about party loyalty. It's about survival. It's about knowing when leaders are working for you and when they're using you. It's about holding those in power accountable before they turn their backs on you. Let this be a wake-up call for everyone watching. And if you want to dive even deeper into the consequences of political decisions, check out our next video right here. Keep the conversation going, stay informed, and most importantly, make the right choices. Because in the end, we all have to live with them. See you in the next one. Until then, be good and remain positive.